Return to an abrupt halt. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley. And he powers his way up past the 30. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Here's Hurts to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Hurts sets up to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Throwing is Hurts. This short throw caught by Goedert. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Here we go, son.
Fields. Got his man. It's 1. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
2nd quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Now 2nd and 5.
Hey, can't. Go.
Back to throw. Fields. He finds his man. Complete. That's Warren. A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there. Now it's Fields. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Don't jump. Ready? Set.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 19 and a first down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react. As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Here we go. Right.
Now Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt, he's the one who runs him down, and my goodness, that is just a disastrous loss for this offense. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard, and able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They trail 3-0 after the INT last time led to a field goal, but now another fresh start here, 1st and 10. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, 551. Right.
Here's Fields. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Here we go. Right.
On the give, it's Warren. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free, but we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
You got a mini base.
To throw is Fields. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Dotson in motion right. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again third and long now. They go play action with Hurts. Forced out to his left. Got his man. It's Gainwell. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for fourth down.
A great job there, and that old cliche, taking what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in?
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, just one field goal in a tightly played first half as we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Fields now to throw. That is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here we go. 575. Hey, Ken. Easy. Out, let's go. Hey, 551. Hurry up. Angel. Bunch right. Is that right?
Here's Fields. Flush to his right. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it fourth down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here we go on 4th down, Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
Good. 73.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Kazin. So that, Charles, maybe the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something, because we're into the 3rd quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, son. Right.
From the gun, here's Fields. He finds his man, complete. That's Warren. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
A shotgun snap, Fields. He finds his man, complete. That's Warren. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. 3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the 2nd half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Looking to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw here. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Larry Ogunjobi in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both 1st and 2nd down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Hurts to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1.
That was a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Here now, 2nd and goal. Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Elliott good on the extra point. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Here we go, son. EQ. Extend. Hey, can. Bunch right. Hey, can. Go.
Now Fields. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Don't jump. Ready? Hey, can. West right, sit. Matter. Sit high.
Back to throw. Fields. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Now that is the 2-minute drill at its very best. Get the completion, get a big chunk of yardage, and then get out of bounds to save those timeouts. You cannot do it any better than that.
Hey, Ken. Hey, never mind. Monday. Delta. No mas. Right.
All eyes on Fields. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Here's second down.
Here we go. Press, bunch right. 11. You got a mini base. Why not? Alpha. Hey, Ken. Easy. Right.
Here's Fields. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical third down here.
Took right. 36 power. One flip. Right.
Now Wilson. Now he'll escape to his right. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
It's fourth down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this kick is not gonna get there.